Can past abuse make a family reunion difficult? God does not require that we trust those who once hurt us, but can we forgive? Let's look at Genesis 42. What were Joseph's brothers forced to do because of the famine? When Jacob learned that there was grain in Egypt, he said to his sons, "Why are you staring blankly at each other? I've just heard that there's grain in Egypt. Go down there and buy some for us, so that we can survive and not starve to death." So Joseph's 10 brothers went down to buy grain in Egypt. However, Jacob didn't send Joseph's brother Benjamin along with his brothers because he thought something bad might happen to him. Israel's sons came to buy grain with others who also came, since the famine had spread to the land of Canaan. Was Joseph kind to them at first, or perhaps still hurting because of their bad treatment of him in the past? Since Joseph was governor of Egypt and in charge of selling grain, his brothers came to him and bowed with their faces to the ground. They didn't recognize Joseph, but at once he knew who they were, though he pretended not to know. Instead, he spoke harshly and asked, "Where do you come from?" "From the land of Canaan," they answered. "We've come here to buy grain." Joseph remembered what he'd dreamed about them and said, "You're spies. You've come here to find out where our country is weak." "No, sir," they replied. "We're your servants, and we've only come to buy grain. We're honest men, and we come from the same family. We're not spies." "That isn't so," Joseph insisted. "You've come here to find out where our country is weak." But they explained, "Sir, we come from a family of 12 brothers. The youngest is still with our father in Canaan, and one of our brothers is dead." What was Joseph trying to accomplish? Did he want to see his little brother again? But Joseph said to them, "It's as I said to you, you're spies. By this you shall be tested. By the life of Pharaoh you shall not go from this place, unless your youngest brother comes here. Send one of you, and let him bring your brother, while you remain confined, that your words may be tested, whether there's truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh surely you're spies." And he put them all together in custody for 3 days. How did Joseph challenge his older brothers? Did their consciences bother them? On the 3rd day, Joseph said to them, "I fear God. Do this and you'll live. If you're honest, let one of you be confined to the guardhouse, while the rest of you go and take grain to relieve the hunger of your households. Bring your youngest brother to me, so that your words can be confirmed. Then you won't die." And they consented to this. Then they said to each other, "Obviously we're being punished for what we did to our brother. We saw his deep distress when he pleaded with us, but we wouldn't listen. That's why this trouble's come to us." But Reuben replied, "Didn't I tell you not to harm the boy? But you wouldn't listen. Now we must account for his blood." What did Joseph do to Simeon? What did he do with their money? Meanwhile, they had no idea that Joseph could understand them, since he was talking to them through an interpreter. He turned away from them and began to weep. When he returned, he spoke with them, but then he took Simeon away from them and had him placed under arrest, right in front of them. After this, Joseph gave orders to fill up their sacks with grain, to return each man's money to his own sack, and to supply each of them with provisions for their return journey. All of this was done for them. What did the brothers do when they discovered their money? And they laded their asses with the corn and departed from there. As one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender in the inn, he espied his money, for behold, it was in his sack's mouth. And he said to his brethren, "My money's restored, and lo, it's even in my sack." And their heart failed them, for they were afraid, saying to one another, "What's this that God has done to us?" What did they report to their father? Did they report the request that their youngest brother be sent? When they came to their father Jacob in the land of Canaan, They told him everything that had happened to them, saying the man, the lord of the land, spoke harshly with us and took us for spies of the country. But we said to him, we're honest men, we're not spies. We're 12 brothers, sons of our father. One's no longer alive, and the youngest is with our father today in the land of Canaan. But the man, the lord of the land, said to us, by this I'll know that you're honest men. Leave one of your brothers with me, and take grain for the famine of your households, and go. But bring your youngest brother to me, so that I may know that you're not spies, but honest men. I'll give your brother to you, and you may trade in the land. How did Jacob respond? Was this potentially a great sorrow for him? As they were emptying their sacks, there in each man's sack was his pouch of silver. When they and their father saw the money pouches, they were frightened. Their father Jacob said to them, you've deprived me of my children. Joseph is no more, and Simeon is no more. Now you want to take Benjamin? Everything's against me. Then Reuben said to his father, you may put both of my sons to death if I don't bring him back to you. Entrust him to my care, and I'll bring him back. But Jacob said, my son will not go down there with you. His brother's dead, and he's the only one left. If harm comes to him on the journey you're taking, you'll bring my grey head down to the grave in sorrow. Can past abuse make a family reunion difficult? God doesn't require that we trust those who once hurt us, but can we forgive? You decide.